day now.
Hey y'all, this is Travell Richardson, and this is the Be Ready anthem, y'all. I hope y'all ready. Stay ready, be ready, 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 stay ready. Every show, new face, new dream. Young man out here building a team from the track to the court to the turf and the ring. They all grown different, but they got the same theme. Putting in work when the lights not on. Late nights, early morning, still going strong. They don't do it for the lights, they do it for the fight. Future looking bright, cause they training for their life. So be ready, stay ready, 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 be ready, stay ready. Spotlight on them, time to show love. Brother smart and dream, all star from above. The hustle in their heart, purpose in their feet, and they voice on this mic that echoes in the streets. Every episode, no cap, no fake. Just young bugs grinding, rising to the stage. Different faces, same goals. Rise above the pressure, yeah, holding goals. So be ready, stay ready, 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 be ready, stay ready. So put your hands together for my boys, Coach Tony and Carlos, for the Be Ready podcast coming on right now. Let's get it, let's go, y'all.
What's going on here with Coach Tony? Coach Tony, you're mute. Coach Tony, you're mute. You're mute.
That's a penalty box.
Yeah, I know. 2 minutes in the penalty box. Minor.
You guys can't hear me?
I got you now.
You guys couldn't hear me?
Nope. You were on mute the whole time.
You can hear me now, though, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, that's a great way to start the show, y'all. That is the wonders of going live. Again, y'all, thank y'all. Here we are once again. We are here in episode 96, y'all. 96.
Almost there. Almost 400.
Yep. And we want to welcome Sean back today. You know, he's going to have a lot to discuss today. A lot of updates going on with the pickup portal. So we are excited to share that with you guys. Sean has been a while. If you want to hear about how it all started, tune in to episode 55. That was the episode that we spoke with Sean on before. Right after we interviewed his good pal Trip Dog, who was yeah, he's actually posting a lot of content from Vegas. He's at a baseball convention in Vegas this weekend, so I want to wish him a good luck out there and have a lot of fun. But this episode ain't about Trip; it's about Sean. So we want to welcome Sean back. Like I said, he has a lot to discuss today and a lot of updates. And speaking of conventions, Mr. Sean has been to a big convention himself, and we're going to share a little bit about that with you guys today. Hey, Enrique, we haven't seen you in a while, man. Welcome back. He's been supporting us since him and Kason been on episode 4. That was 92 episodes ago.
Yeah, long time supporter.
So he's been supporting us. Shout out to Enrique and Kason. Before we get started, on the state of the podcast, and we get this show rolling. Carlos, go ahead
Mhm.
and read in your Jay Z voice. Go ahead and
Jay-Z.
reintroduce our guest.
Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Jay Z. All
Your,
right.
your name's not Jay Z.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. Okay, but tonight's guest is a representative from a company that helps teams when they're short of players in baseball and other sports. We're going to talk about that later on. They help teams from all over the country, and today we'll promote their business, and he will give all the updates that's happened to his business. So now, please welcome to the Be Ready Sports Podcast from episode 55, Sean from the Pickup Portal, y'all.
Yes, Sean. Not everybody gets the alarm, gets the horn on their introduction. So you're in the special class by
Rare
themselves.
company. Yeah, appreciate that.
Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. So without giving everything away, Sean, tell everybody again a little bit about yourself and what you're excited to talk about today.
Yeah, so my wife and I, we own a company called the Pickup Portal, and we started with baseball and softball to help players and teams find and fill pickup or guest playing opportunities. And yeah, without giving it all away, there's a lot of great things that are going on, especially over the last 2 3 weeks. Did a lot of cool things over the winter break. Really improved what we have to offer there, and super excited to talk with you guys about that today and share it with your audience. Yeah, a lot of great things coming down the pipe.
All right. And before we get started, make sure you guys like this video, share the live as we're live, so more people can, so more people can see Mr. Sean and be witness to the exciting news that he has for us today. And also subscribe to the channel so you know every time we go live, and you'll see all the special guests that we've interviewed. It was over 90 of them. So so let's get this show on the road. All right. So Carlos had made a on our last episode, on episode 5. Carlos kind of um, made a comment about my basketball academy who played their first games last weekend. And hi, Mama V.
That's a problem. No
Um,
headphones. That's a problem.
yeah, we can hear you. You your voice is going to be on the internet forever. You heard you live on the podcast.
Hot mic.
Yep, exactly.
But Carlos made a little intro announcement, I should say, about our games last weekend. When we had Mr. J Rock on here.
Yeah.
Um, we have a gazillion overlays. I don't know where these things came from, and I'm trying to find mine.
The team picture, right?
Um, so
The team picture, Tony, right?
my StreamYard is acting weird today. All right,
How'd your
I
team
will.
do?
I'll be right back, Sean. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on with my StreamYard. Everything's frozen. I'll be right back.
Okay. I and I think I know what Coach Tony's talking about, Sean. I think he was
Okay.
talking about this photo right here of his team. So I think it was last weekend. So his team basically competed for in a league. They went 2-0. They went 2-0. They did very successful. They did very successful in those games. Yeah. So that's their team. So that's their team that Coach Tony
What
he
age group is that?
that is Coach
Okay,
Tony.
here we go. Gee whiz. Thank you, Carlos.
And I was asking if it was a team photo.
I don't know. This thing just would not cooperate today. But yes, we had our first games. We had our first game last weekend. This is my boys right here, Sean.
What age
Um,
group are they?
they're middle school. They're
Okay.
majority are seventh and eighth graders. Have a couple sixth graders. They're in the front here. Mr. Corbin, who guest host on the podcast. Right there in the middle, the little guy, the little blonde haired, short haired guy right there,
Yeah.
and Mr. Liam, the only one with the braids. Those are my two sixth graders,
Wow.
and it an awesome job with these eighth graders last weekend. So they kind of surprised me. It kind of sucked that our point guard, Mr. DJ, who's right in the middle, in between Corbin and Liam, the two sixth graders who's standing out in the front.
Yep.
Um, got hurt 1 second into the first game,
Oh no.
so we end up having to play both games without our point guard. So yeah, he was diagnosed with a muscle strain, grade one muscle strain, so he's gonna be out for a few weeks.
That's not good.
Nope, 1 second into his first game. But the kid's tough. He did a Kobe Bryant. He didn't fall on the floor screaming and hollering. He just waved at me, said, "Coach, man, come sub me out," and
Yeah.
walked off the court. Got his treatment. Was trying to check back in, but he couldn't go.
Where did you play at? Where's the tournament or the league?
Um, right there, Martyr. We was at Martyr Lakes Academy in Hialeah.
Okay.
So Miami,
Uh,
basically, Sean.
Yeah.
Miami.
No, I'm
yeah,
familiar with
look,
Hialeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
I
right
lived in Lake
outside of.
Worth for a long time.
Okay. Oh, Opa-locka. Okay.
So great, beautiful school. Um, good sized gym. So it's a pretty good game.
How'd the boys play?
Everybody contributed, even the little guys. Um, Corbin hit a Corbin hit a few threes, so now he calls himself Core Green now. So yeah, I created a monster. But
That's good.
he here is the scores from last weekend. And no, I'm not gloating. I'm just praising my boys for how they. It's a complete turnaround because 2 years ago Carlos was at our first tournament and he knew how the end of that game went. He had that conversation with, "Oh yeah, your boys have potential, Tony. Keep working." That's how bad it was. But this was a complete turnaround. Remember what the scores was the weekend, Carlos?
Oh yeah, it's on here.
No,
Oh, not that
you
one.
weren't supposed to bring that up yet.
Oh.
Take it off. Take it off the screen. Take it
Okay,
off
bring
the
me the team photo.
It's on the internet forever now.
It's on the internet. Yeah, that is.
You weren't supposed to bring it on yet, Carlos. But 2 years ago, when we played in our first tournament, you came to the first game. You remember what the score was to that game? How bad it was?
I don't remember, to be honest. Yeah, well, the score at least. The score. Yeah. I don't
But it
remember.
was Sean. It was very lopsided.
Well,
It was
I
like,
saw a glimpse of a lopsided score a second ago.
but it was. We lost that game. I think we scored maybe 12, 13 points, and they scored almost 50.
Yeah.
So
You'll
so
have that
for
on the good
them,
job.
yeah. So for them, this time around, their first games of the season to perform like this makes me very proud of them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so 43-27 and then 57 Wow.
And then the two teams that played each other, and um, Team Motive beat the team that we beat 57-4. They beat them 51-28.
Okay.
So I shared that with them today at practice this morning, and they were like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah." So that's how impressive it was what you guys did.
Right.
So so this really helped their confidence. Practices this week I've noticed they stepped it up a lot. So we stepped it up on the conditioning. They were locked in. Wasn't no whining and crying, and they're ready to go at it again. They're like, we're ready to
Yeah.
go again, coach. So very, very, very proud of them.
Yeah. That's
So
fantastic.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, this is just the first. I'm not putting. I'm not about to go throw a party. This is just the first. This is just the first weekend. A good start.
Hey, every journey is the first step, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. All right, Carlos. Enough of me. Gloating about my team. No, I'm just playing. I'm not gloating. Um, also we
Just appreciating your team, basically.
just
Just
appreciating the start because the
Yeah.
last start was the opposite of this. Uh, it was a total opposite. Um, we also want to thank everyone for following on Instagram. We are currently at 1,400 and what is it 40 followers now, Carlos? 1,440. 6 months ago we started at zero, so that's 6 months of our work. And YouTube, we kind of fell short for our goal at the end of the year of 500 subscribers, but we are at 293 as we speak. And that's our good friend Tyler, who's going to be on the show real soon. As you can see, one big difference from the last time you were on, Sean. You can see your comments live on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah. I'm replying back to a few of them.
well, there you go.
Yes, sir. So, Carlos, let's get this show started. Um, let's get this show started with our second. Sorry, I didn't have any unbelievably crazy segments for the show. I did send you a few, Carlos. You didn't
Yes,
post them.
unfortunately,
You
because
didn't post them. I seen a lot of. I found a lot of unbelievably crazies for the week. So what we do, Sean, is we take feedback from our guests, and if one hits home, we input it on our show. So on episode 70, I believe, I'm with Lamborghini Landon. You really gotta check that episode out. That you'll love that kid. That kid has a lot
Okay.
of energy.
yeah.
You thought Trip had energy. Wait till you meet Lambo. Um, he's like Trip times 10 on the football side.
Wow.
Yeah, that kid has a lot of you'll love him though.
Yes.
Um, and we've been staying in touch. We've been working with him. Great kid. Same with Camden, who's another one. But he came up with a term called unbelievably crazy, and that gave us an idea. And he spawned the idea of having a segment called unbelievably crazy. So what we do is we'll find any topics, sports related or not, that we find that is unbelievably crazy. We highlight it on the show, and then we talk about it. But Carlos didn't post any of them. I sent him a bunch of them during the week, and I'm kind of disappointed.
I was busy.
Calling them out like that.
yeah,
No,
no.
it was a lot of unbelievably crazies that I found.
Yeah,
But did you at least post a day in sports for today?
I did. And Sean, that's one of the new things that we do here, basically. So before we talk about our sports topics, we do this thing basically from ASN. They're on Instagram, Sean. It's called ASN Throwback. So they're on Instagram and they post this every day. They post this every day, basically just posting the events that occurred on this day. So basically on the left, basically on this day on January 17, 2021, the Lions, they hired Dan Campbell. As their next head coach. He spent the last 5 seasons at the Saints assistant head coach and tight ends coach after serving as the Dolphins interim head coach for 12 games in 2015. He spent a decade in the NFL. And things like that. And, obviously Dan Campbell led them to playoff contention a few years ago. Obviously now they're not in the playoff, but, a huge hire from the Lions because they've changed since. Obviously, we all know what happened to the Lions, in the past. They haven't been good. They've been, bottom tier. But when Dan Campbell got there, they were upper tier playoff. They're definitely doing better than their past. Let's just say that. So, okay, so now 2013, the Cardinals, they hired Bruce Arians. He's no longer a coach now. But in 2013, that's 13 years ago, Arizona, they hired Bruce Arians, who was an OC, offensive coordinator over at the Colts. He took over for Chuck Pagano and led the Colts to a fantastic season. So basically, the Cardinals just stole him from the Colts, and there you go. From 2013, Bruce Arians got hired by the Cardinals. Another thing,
real quick, Carlos, there was a comment in the Instagram feed from Willie J 2034. Shout out to you, Will. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast. He asked if we watched the Bills game, and no, I wasn't able to watch all of the Bills game. However, it was a great game. Broncos won in overtime, 33-30.
I was able to watch. So I was able to watch the ending of it because most of it, I was actually at a game. I was actually playing in a game, so that was why I couldn't watch most of the game. So I ended up watching the end of it in overtime, and the Broncos ended up winning. So congrats to them, but it ended up being a dogfight. Broncos move on, Bills lost, and Josh Allen.
They'll host the AFC Championship.
Yeah,
and hopefully my Niners could pull off a miracle with all their injuries in Seattle. I'm not holding my breath on that one. But Sam Darnold is banged up too, so it's gonna be interesting. So I just want to highlight that because that comment. We try not to ignore our audience when they comment on us. Speaking of Mr. J Rock, he is on our Instagram feed. We just talked about your episode, J Rock, and you missed it. We just got through talking about how my team's performance last weekend, and so Carlos wasn't lying. I'll post the score on here one more time, just for you. That was just for you, J Rock. Carlos wasn't lying about the scores of the games, J Rock.
True.
I'll leave it there for 3 more seconds.
You outscored your opponents 100 points to 31 in 2 games.
That's just great. Oh yeah, 100. Yeah, 57 plus 43. Yeah, that's 100.
100. Yeah, 100 and what? 100 and what? 10, 20 to be exact. But who's counting?
All right, so let's get back to this. So, 2024, 2 years ago, the Pacers, the Indiana Pacers, obviously made an NBA final last year. Don't know what happened this year. They're doing awful. Let's just say that they're doing awful. But in 2024, 2 years ago, the Pacers, they acquired Pascal Siakam, who was an NBA champion over there in Toronto. Pacers acquired him. He was a key piece to that Pacers team last year, making the finals. Went to a game 7, ended up falling short. But, Pacers, they're having a hard time right now. They're having a very hard time. They have Tony, how many wins do they have? 10 or something like that? Yeah, it's bad, Sean. It's bad for the Pacers. They're bottom tier the East right now.
Yeah, that just shows that Tyrese Halliburton needs to be up there in MVP discussions because you lose. You lost Miles Turner, but you also lost Halliburton, and the team is in a dumpster fire.
Yeah, so they have some work to do. Let's just say that. They have some work to do. So 2025, last year, actually, on this day last year, the Dodgers, they signed Rocky Sasaki. He is a pitcher, 23, was an amateur free agent. So he was getting a standard rookie deal. He was also one of the best talents to ever come from Japan. So he came from Japan, just like Shohei Ohtani. Um, and yeah, and Rocky Sasaki got signed by the Dodgers from
He is
Japan.
a fantastic pitcher.
Oh yeah, he is indeed, indeed. Yeah. So next, 2021, the Chargers they hired Brandon Staley, who obviously is not their head coach now. Brandon Staley is now obviously Jim Harbaugh, but in 2021 they hired Brandon Staley. Over in 2021, also on that same year, the Buccaneers, they defeated the Saints 30-20 to advance the NFC title game in 2021. That was the game with Tom Brady, actually. Tom Brady in Tampa. So they defeat the Saints in the division round to go to the NFC title game. And I believe that was the year that they won the Super Bowl, right, Coach Tony? I think, right?
Yeah, that was their COVID title
Yeah.
because there
All
was
right.
no. I think they had just let fans in the stadium, and
During the
they
Super
had
Bowl, yeah.
yeah, and they were had to be. Those were the first people that got vaccinated. So it
Yeah.
wasn't a huge crowd per se, because we had social distancing back then. People who couldn't sit right next to each other, but it was still a nice sized crowd.
Yeah, that was what a time that was. COVID. What a time that was. But here we are, new era. So let's get back to this.
All right,
2013.
all right, Tyler. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, Tyler, we'll see you in the next podcast. We'll see you. All right, so the Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously made the playoffs this year, fell short to the Bills, who just lost to the Broncos. The Jaguars, they hired Gus Bradley, who was at the time the Seattle Seahawks defensive coordinator. He led the Seahawks defense to a surprisingly dominant season in 2012. And was that the year
And
of the Legion of Boom? Right. Or no?
and I was gonna. Sean talked about Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't this year. Uh, this 2016, the Broncos defeated Steelers. I believe that. No, I think Tim Tebow beat them in the wild card. I didn't think that was a divisional. The years mixed up.
Yeah, so that's that. Vandy. Tony, you got it?
Yeah, because we have a no cap policy on the Be Ready Sports podcast. Nope. Yep, I was right because that was in 2012 on January 8th. So yeah, that wasn't the game.
Oh.
So I'm not trying. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna pull up this 2016 game and see why they're highlighting it.
Okay. Yeah, so and then 2014, Vanderbilt, the football team, they hired Derek Mason to be the new head coach of the football team. He previously served as Stanford's defensive coordinator, and he actually replaced James Franklin, who was a previously head coach at Vanderbilt, took the job at Penn State. He got fired from Penn State. Now he's the current head coach over at Virginia Tech. So I guess we'll see what happens there for Virginia Tech. Will they have a better year? I think so, but we'll see what goes on next year for Virginia Tech and the Hokies. The Islanders, how about we switch it to hockey? The Islanders, they fired Jack Capuano after nearly 7 seasons. He's been the Islanders head coach since the start of the 2010-11 season and guided to New York to 3 playoff appearances, including a win in a playoff series just last season over there in 2010-11. They struggled throughout that season, and they suffered 5 consecutive losses. And New York at the time was 17-17-8, and they were last in the Eastern Conference. So basically, the writing was on the wall there for Coach Capuano to be gone for the Islanders. Also in 2014, Kevin Durant for OKC scores 54 points. He scored 54 points in 2014. Coach Tony mentioned 2016 Broncos defeat the Steelers in the divisional round. And
Yeah,
then
that
in
was the year Peyton Manning. That was Peyton Manning's year. That was the year Peyton Manning led them. Um,
Amen. Okay, there you go.
um, yep, Big Ben, and the Steelers that year, and um, that's the year they went to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Yeah, now Denver, they just won a divisional round. So who would have known 10 years later the Broncos, they win a divisional round and they're going to an AFC title game. Can they make a Super Bowl? We'll see. 2022, Timo Meyer becomes the fifth player in 25 years with a 5-goal game. Yeah, 5 goals against the LA Kings, becoming the fifth player in this century to record a 5-goal game. All
And
right.
you know that year, Carlos, that was the famous Cam Newton botch fumble
Oh,
Super Bowl.
2016. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Panthers, Carolina. Yeah, Carolina,
Yep.
Denver.
That was the year that he didn't jump on that fumble. He jumped the other way, and the Broncos put the game to bed.
Yep. Super Bowl 50.
So, what are your thoughts, Sean, on the day in sports for January 17th? Anything stood out to you?
Yeah, so college coaches, specifically football coaches, are like playing musical chairs. You know, they leave one school, go to another, leave that school, go to a different one, and usually their habits follow them, whether that's good or bad. So a lot of coach changes that in this, on January 17th specifically.
Yep. And 10 years from now, we'll be talking about the players.
Yeah.
So,
And speaking of, oh, I'm live. I can't show it. Um, there was a funny. I'm live on Instagram, so I can't show it. Um, but there was a post where, on Monday Night Football, when the players announced their colleges at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So the post was in the future because of the transfer portal. Players are going to be announcing um, all the colleges that they transferred to.
Yeah, dude, to the portal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, my name is such and such from Texas, then Ohio State, then
Yeah.
Duke, then Notre Dame. But it was hilarious how he said it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That'll be spot on too if they let them do it.
It's coming. It's coming. All right, Carlos.
all right. So
All right,
that's this day in ASN. All right. Let's switch gears right into baseball. Let's get right into baseball. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked.
oh no, I'm just kidding.
It's been a while since we talked baseball on this show. Obviously baseball, they're in their little off season. Right now they're just chilling, watching, college basketball, NBA.
Shout out to the Dodgers. They just
Moves.
they're just being unfair right now. They just getting all of the stars.
Hey, don't worry, we're gonna talk about them. The Dodgers. MLB. They're in the off season right now, free agency and stuff. So we're just basically gonna talk about some free agency stuff. Some little things MLB posting on their social media, basically. Just to keep the baseball fans busy, pretty much on
Right.
Instagram. So here's one. JT Realmuto. He was a catcher for the Phillies. He's a former Marlin. He was a former Miami Marlin. Played for the Phillies and just announced he's back. So, Sean, what are your thoughts on this? JT Realmuto coming back for the Phillies.
I've always loved this guy. First of all, to be a catcher in the MLB is nuts. You just have to love getting beat on, catching foul balls, off the shoulder and arms and all kinds of places. This guy specifically is the real deal. He's just fantastic. Absolutely love that he's back with the Phillies. I'm not a huge Phillies fan, but I do like a few players in the Phillies. I'm at the age now where I more root for players than teams, unless it's the Braves. I don't care who plays in the Braves. I'm pulling for the Braves. But JT Realmuto, getting him back on the Phillies with Bryce Harper and a few other guys is going to be good for the Phillies. Really good.
So you're a Braves fan, so you hate. I know you hate the Dodgers.
Well, I do, but again, Dodgers got a few guys I really like too. Freddie Freeman, former Brave. Can't root against Freddie Freeman.
Yeah. We
Right
talked
away.
when we did our episodes on the World Series. We talked a lot about Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
How I'm, everybody was talking about Shohei Ohtani, but my MVP was Freddie Freeman 2 years in a row. You
Yeah,
don't
he's
win
just a
that
good
World
guy.
Series without. We don't win those World Series without him.
Yeah.
For sure, indeed. JT Realmuto coming back. The Phillies last year they were 96 and 66. They were the leaders over there in the National League East.
That's
Made,
Carlos's way of telling me to stay on topic, Sean.
yeah, pretty much. Time's running.
steering the conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Time's running. Time's
I,
running.
I told you he done got better, right? I told you. I used to have to beat him. Used to have to beat it in his head. Keep the
Yeah.
show going. Now he just like, okay, boom, boom.
Yes, so JT Realmuto, he's back for the Phillies. The Phillies, they were 96 and 66. They led the National League East. They won that division. Only one team made it from that division. The Mets, the Marlins, Braves, and Nationals were eliminated from that division. But Phillies, they were the leader in that division, made the playoffs, and obviously we all know fell short. But JT Realmuto back for the
And
Phillies in
shout out to
20.
that uniform. That is clean. I like it. I
Yeah, the
wouldn't
Blue
buy
Jays
it. I wouldn't buy it, but I like it.
Solid, solid.
No, it's what the kids say. It's drippy.
He's got the matching batting gloves too. Looks good.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. All right, let's move on. Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker. He's right fielder. He's on the move. He's on the move. I
He's
believe he
getting
put.
paid.
Yeah, Kyle Tucker. So, Sean, what are your thoughts on this? Kyle Tucker on the move.
I like the move. I don't know that I like the price tag. What is it, 240 million or 260 million for 4 years? It's a big price tag for an outfielder. Obviously, the man can hit too, but the Dodgers just seem like they've got unlimited funds. Like salary cap means nothing. They got to be doing things like deferred salaries, like they do with Shohei or something like that, where they can actually afford to pay these guys this high cap roster.
Well, the Clippers kind of almost put the secret out in the bag of how they fund these players to be able to sign these with the Kawhi Leonard incident. So there are ways that they are getting around that salary cap. Um, they don't make it public, but there are ways that
Yeah.
they're doing it.
Yeah, I
So
think the Dodgers are they're trying to make like a dynasty team, right? When you think of a dynasty in baseball, it's like the Yankees, the Red Sox, guys who have been good for decades. And I think that's where the Dodgers are trying to set themselves up.
but the only thing is when you uh, to win a championship, you gotta open the pocketbook. I mean, that is everybody knows that. But when you open it up too much and get too many star players, it all it hardly ever works. Because you need that team camaraderie. You need role players to step in, play their roles along with the stars. You have too many stars, it hardly not all the time it works. Look at the Commanders. So
Well, I think that's maybe where baseball is a little different than some other sports, where all the nine guys in the field all have an individual role, and the only place where their roles cross over is batting, like in the batting order. But when it comes like defensively, the right fielder never complains about shortstop because he doesn't play there. Whereas like I think in football, you have your wide receivers and they might complain they're not getting their share of passes. Well, on defense, how are you going to complain the ball's not getting hit to you enough? It's not nobody's fault. You might complain that you're batting eighth in the order and you think you should be second in the order, but you know, analytics will tell you why you're batting eighth instead of the top four.
For sure, indeed. Kyle Tucker. Well, I believe he's going to the Dodgers. I think it says there.
Yeah.
He's going to the Dodgers. Speaking about the Dodgers,
they
here's their.
oh yeah,
Here's their projected lineup for next year in 2026. So, Sean, what are your thoughts on this? Pretty tough roster.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat. Mookie's getting a little long in the tooth. I don't know how many more years he's gonna have in the league. Great player, obviously, still playing a great game, but he's getting a little tired for play at a high level. Outside of that, I mean, again, catcher Will Smith. I would honestly put JT Realmuto over Will Smith from just a catcher's perspective. Just JT's just a bigger, stronger guy, but Will Smith's obviously no joke. Won a World Series with him. Yeah, they just have a great lineup. That's just crazy. It's going to be impressive. It's going to be impressive to watch them play this year. They need to get Shohei off the DH and just put him in the lineup as an outfielder and throw him when you need him on the mound.
All right, for sure. Tony, you got something?
No, I was going to ask Sean. There's some teams out there that can give them a run for their money.
For sure.
Which two teams in the National League do you feel is going to give the Dodgers some problems next year? Because they weren't invincible last year. They had to pull them games out. They were tough. So,
honestly, the Phillies, I can't really bet against the Phillies too much. And of course the Braves. Love the Bravos. I hope that they can do it. Part of me wants the Braves to do really well, obviously, and part of me wants them to do really bad for another year or two, because then their season tickets come way down, and then I can actually afford some and buy in while they're cheap. Yeah, I mean, I hope the Braves do really well, and then I don't know. There's several sneaky teams in there, even like the Diamondbacks. They've all got a puncher's chance, but it's a long season, 162 games. It's a long season to try and hold out all year.
Very long season.
Speaking of Lambo, you're on Instagram. What's up, dude?
Sub Lambo. Yeah, indeed, Sean. They have a long season, like 100+ games. You play you play the same team like 3 times, basically like a series.
You play a series.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a 162 game season.
It's a long season.
Very long.
And you get maybe a 1 game break every other week.
They'll play one series a week. Sometimes, it overlaps. They might do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, and then turn back around, play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series. They do get days off, but those are traveling. They're going to fly, or if it's close enough, they'll bus. But those guys spend a lot of time away from home, as all professional athletes do. But football guys, they get to go home every week. Baseball guys, they may not get to go home every week.
Baseball players always busy. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
All right.
But I say hockey and basketball players, though, they spend most. When we used to make jokes, I said they're the only athletes that spend majority of their season in the air. Basketball and hockey players, because it's like they're always on the plane,
always traveling.
Sure, indeed.
But I agree with you on the Phillies. I was surprised of how they ended their season last year, because they did give the Dodgers work last year. Not going to lie, when they faced off in the regular season, they did give the Dodgers the business. It sucks that they didn't match up. That may change next year. But I also got to give a shout out to the Blue Jays in the World Series. They were one bonehead play away from winning it.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest disappointment of the whole season with the Blue Jays. They were the team that weren't supposed to be there. And they made it to the show, and they made a great showing of it. If I was a betting man and put odds on it, I would bet the house against the Blue Jays last year. And I'm glad I'm not a betting man, because I'd have lost. miserably.
Yeah, indeed. The Blue Jays gave a good show and definitely took the Dodgers into a game 7 where the Blue Jays had a lead, but
No,
Dodgers
they
came out.
had they had the World Series in their hand, and
Yeah, and then the heart of a
they
champion came out for the Dodgers. The heart of a
now they
champion.
made that one critical error at the plate. Um, the Blue Jays did, and surrendered that game winning the series clinching run to the Dodgers. Do
Yeah.
you remember what play I'm talking about, Carlos?
Um, yeah, where
In game
in game
when they were in
7.
when they were in extra innings, and all he had to do. I'm going off memory, so but I think all he had to do was secure secure home plate, and the the series was theirs. But instead, he tried to go for it all and get the throw out, and
Yep.
the ball went horribly wrong, and then the Dodgers just ran in the series clinching runs. When all he had to do was sit on that ball. All he had to do was sit on that ball. He would have got him out at the plate, and that would have been it. That would have been the end. That would have been the World Series right there.
Yeah, could have been, but Dodgers, it's hard to be a champion, but Dodgers back to back. All right, let's move on. Ryan Weathers, left-hand pitcher. The Yankees, they reportedly acquired left-hand pitcher Ryan Weathers from the Miami Marlins. So he was a former Marlin, now going to the Yankees. Sean, your thoughts on this? Ryan Weathers to the Yankees.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about Ryan Weathers. That's interesting to me that the Yankees would pick him up. But I don't know that much about him. I honestly couldn't tell if he's a starter or a closer. I have no idea. So I don't have any thoughts. I'm sorry.
No, you got. So last year he had a 3.99 ERA. He had 37 strikeouts, and then he had a 1.28 WHIP. I don't know these stats with baseball, Sean. So
Yeah.
I don't even know
you
what
have
it
to,
WHIP
these stats
is
good?
walks plus hits per innings pitched. So it's basically how many guys you let on base, either walking them or giving up a base hit per inning. So it's a 1.38.
It's like so that's like an analytics stat.
Yeah, it's analytics. Yeah, so that's not bad. He only allows 1.28 people on base per inning. Basically, is what
That's real good.
Yeah,
and also he had 37 strikeouts. So
You mean to tell me
is that good? Is that average?
so you mean to tell me every inning that he pitched on average he's only letting 1.5 batters on base on innings
That's
pitched?
correct.
I'll take that any day of the week.
yeah, that's a very good number.
That's a very good number.
Yeah, for sure. And also Sean, he had 37 strikeouts. So is that like average for a pitcher like Ryan? Or,
How many innings did he pitch?
I don't know, to be honest.
So yeah, 37 strikeouts. If he pitched 40 innings, that's okay. If he pitched 15 innings, that's fantastic. Strikeouts per inning, I'm not a big fan of that as being a big stat because you can strike out 3 guys per inning, but if you give up 6 hits per inning, how effective are you as a pitcher? So total strikeouts over, total number of innings. Obviously, you want more strikeouts than innings pitched, but if you give up more hits, which this guy clearly didn't, if he has a WHIP of 1.28 or whatever, he's a very efficient, very effective pitcher. But 37 strikeouts without knowing how many innings, it's hard to tell how effective he is as a pitcher.
Yeah, for sure. Ryan Weathers will be going to the Yankees. The Marlins, in return, will receive some minor league outfielders and infielders. So,
Okay.
and the Marlins, they're not having a good year. Let's just say that the Marlins, they're rebuilding. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Marlins, they're the bottom team right now in Miami. Obviously, the Hurricanes are the top. Probably below them, I don't know, probably the Heat or somebody. Then Dolphins, and then Marlins down here. The Miami, what? Yeah, in regards to the Miami team, or probably the Panthers on top. Yeah, probably the Panthers on top. The Panthers, obviously, they're winning all the time. But Ryan Weathers going to the Yankees. All right, next player, Nolan Arenado. It looks like he played for the Cardinals.
Yep.
Third baseman. He had a .237 average, 12 home runs, 52 RBIs, and a .666 OPS. And he's going to the Diamondbacks. So, Sean, your thoughts on this? Nolan Arenado to the D-backs.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good move for the Diamondbacks. He's been with the Cardinals a long time, so I'm a little surprised he's leaving the Cardinals. But Nolan's getting a little long in the tooth for baseball, just like Mookie is. He's been in the league a long time. His batting average is okay. It's not great. His OPS is honestly not good. He's definitely a defensive guy, though. As a third baseman, he's a very good third baseman. But you can't play third base in the MLB and not do great at the plate. You've got to carry the team. First and third baseman, they're not the most agile, athletic, quick people, but they need to be able to bang out home runs, get extra bases. And looks like he's struggling. It's probably a good move for the Diamondbacks as far as the third baseman goes. Be interesting to see how the change in home venue affects his hitting, though, because he's been in St. Louis a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking about being a long time, Nolan, he was a part of the Rockies for 8 seasons from 2013 to 2020. Then he went to the Cardinals from 2021 to 2025. So that's 5 seasons. During his career, he was a 10-time Golden Glove, 10 times, 5 times Silver Slugger, and made all MLB second team in 2022. So he has a pretty good resume. Now going to the Diamondbacks. All right. Last but not least, in regards to free agency, Bo Bichette. I believe he played for the Blue Jays, it looks like, in that picture. Now going to the Mets for a 3-year deal. So, Sean, your thoughts on this?
How much money are the Mets paying him?
Ooh, I don't know.
The only reason I ask is you go from the Blue Jays in the World Series. Bo Bichette had a great series at the World Series. The Mets have got to be coming up with some serious coin to get him away from the Blue Jays, because he was pretty tight with a few of his teammates there at the Blue Jays.
Yeah, so Bo signed a 3-year deal, $126 million.
Yeah, that's the same money that they're paying Kyle Tucker in LA, albeit for 3 years instead of 4. That's crazy. Good for Bo. Good for him. That's crazy though. That's so much money.
If you just for going into the World Series and you were this close to winning, you had for you to leave, you had to get a good payday.
And he's a young guy too, so he's got a lot of life left in him too. So he needs to find a home that he feels like he belongs, and the money will take care of itself.
Shout out to baseball players, man. They're getting these bags, man.
That's crazy. No wonder it's $9 for a hot dog at the stadium.
Yeah. It used to have never been this way. It used to be only the Darryl Strawberries and the King Griffey Juniors got those $200 million
they didn't make
contracts.
this kind of money.
Crazy.
Wow. Roger Clemens. Those guys used to get those massive contracts. Now it's like they're just giving them. It's like they're giving away. Like who?
Well,
you want a max contract? You want a max contract?
I heard a stat recently, and forgive me, I don't remember the numbers exactly, but the total number of MLB players ever, since the MLB was formed, it's only a couple thousand players ever. Like in the 100 years or whatever that Major League Baseball, whether it was term Major League Baseball or not, professional baseball has been going on. There's only a couple thousand players have ever played. It's true for like every professional sport, right? There's only a couple thousand that's ever played. And the money these guys are making today versus what they were making 50 years ago is astronomically different, night and day different. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you might be in the MLB, but you may still have a day job. Like you might be a car salesman when you're home from the ball field. But these guys, they're making generational money.
Yeah, that's how I think all pro sports were in the 50s and 60s. That's where the term plumbers came from, because they had day jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, indeed. Bo on the move to the Mets. Here's some little thingies about Bo. He's a shortstop from Orlando,
Thingies.
Florida.
How about
Played for the
stats?
Yeah. So
Well,
he played.
you're a journalist. You can't be saying thingies.
No, 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 don't worry. Stats. A little nuggets about Bo. A little nuggets about
There you
Bo.
go.
Yeah, so he played for the Blue Jays for 7 seasons, 2019, 2025. During his career, he was an all MLB second team 2025, actually. So just a year ago, all MLB second team. He had a .311 average, which is tied for second in the MLB, had 18 home runs, 94 RBIs, and had an OPS of .840. So that is Bo. So that is what he's going to bring to the New York Mets. Sean, your reaction to those stats that I just read about Bo?
So Nolan Arenado, right? You read off his stats too. He had, a sub 300 batting average and just over 600 OPS. Bo's got over 300 batting average and over 800 OPS. That's a huge difference in the quality of offensive production. A huge difference. And he's obviously younger than Nolan Arenado, and they both play on the left side of the field. So you got a shortstop Bo and the third baseman Nolan. Two wildly different offensive output for the teams.
For sure, indeed. And yeah, so that's it for MLB free agency. And I guess we'll see what goes on during the MLB, but that's been so far MLB free agency. So now let's talk about television deals with MLB. So I talked about this in the past, that MLB, they're doing new TV deals basically with Netflix, NBC, as you can see now, NBC Peacock. Here's a doubleheader to start off on NBC. We got the Pirates taking on the Mets at 1 o'clock on March 26th. And then the nightcap, you got the Diamondbacks taking on the reigning defending champion, the Dodgers, led by Shohei Ohtani. So, Sean, your thoughts on this doubleheader on NBC?
Yeah, that'd be a good series. Paul Skeens, fantastic pitcher, obviously new guy. He's maybe 21, 22 years old now, 23 maybe. Young guy, obviously throws hard. I hope that the MLB does a better job with their TV deals. And just like football, right? They've got their deals where there's blackout games and things like that. It just really, it made no sense to me why, like, I live in Georgia. I live 2 hours from Truist Stadium where the Braves play, but virtually all their home games are blacked out. But I can see a Phillies game no matter where they're playing. So when the Phillies come to Atlanta, I can see a home Atlanta game, but only when the Phillies are there. But when Atlanta plays at home against the Blue Jays or whoever, I'll never see that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So they got to do better.
Yeah, for sure, indeed. So that's the doubleheader. The Pirates taking on the Mets. And the Diamondbacks.
I'm a betting guy. I'm betting on the Pirates over the Mets and the Dodgers over the Diamondbacks.
All right, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Pirates. I believe they got to go on the road and take on the Mets, and then obviously the Dodgers, they take on the Diamondbacks at 8 Eastern on March 26th. So, and now here's the full slate of the season, basically, Sean. So here's the full slate of NBC, all the games that they're gonna do on NBC. So we have a couple teams here, a couple teams that are TV worthy on here. Obviously they got the Yankees Red Sox rivalry on there, Red Sox Dodgers, Yankees Phillies, Dodgers and Yankees on July 19th. They've got some pretty good matchups here. So Sean, your thoughts on this slate on NBC throughout the season?
Yeah, remember, it's 162 total games, and they've got 20 that are going to be aired on NBC. So NBC is getting a fraction of the airtime of the games. A lot of good matchups, though. Several that are definitely going to be watch worthy. The California games, San Diego and LA, those guys always get chippy. The fans are fun to watch when you can see those guys. Because they're just so close. Big rivalry there, and an in-state rivalry. The other ones that I would personally watch, obviously, any of the Braves games, specifically Braves and Phillies. It's always a good matchup. It's not listed on here, but when the Braves play the Nationals, that's usually a good game as well. The other one, Boston Red Sox, August 2nd against LA. That ought to be a decent game as well. I think LA's, they're just gonna have another powerhouse year. LA's gonna do another fantastic job. Obviously, they're spending money, but um, yeah, a lot of good games listed there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a lot of good games, and just like just like what you said, Sean. Obviously MLB season 162, and only NBC getting about probably 20 on here. So just like what you said, fraction. But NBC, they're gonna get some very good games, like those rivalries you mentioned, and some of the rivalries that I mentioned, and then some matchups, and then some probably how do you say, like small market teams like Seattle. They're gonna be on here. Let's see. The
Well,
Cubs.
remember, each one of these games is a series. So, like the first game, the Pirates and the Mets, that's going to be a 3-game series. So NBC gets one out of those 3 games.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so definitely it's a series, and then only NBC gets one. So, yeah, some very good games on here on NBC, and I guess we'll see how MLB is on NBC. NBA is on NBC, NFL is on NBC, MLB just following the trend, going on
Yep.
And I
NBC.
think I have to believe think they're gonna, since you know they're gonna make sure that the best, you know, with baseball you highlight the pitchers that are pitching for
Yeah,
that night.
storylines. Yeah,
So
storylines.
they're going to highlight their best pitchers to highlight these games, just so it don't be just feel like, okay, this is just a, filler game for the series. We're not giving max effort. There's 162 games. You know they have to have their best product on NBC because there's only 20 out of the whole season.
Well, a lot of these are evening games too, primetime games, as opposed to the MLB has a lot of afternoon games. Some noon, 1 o'clock games, and there's a couple afternoon games listed here, but most of them are 7 or 8 p.m. games, which is good for NBC because that's primetime viewing. So they not only did a good job getting some good matchups to be able to host on NBC, but also the good time slot for those games. It worked out well for NBC.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Maybe that's how these teams can afford to pay so much money is through the NBCs and the ESPNs of the world and the advertising dollars.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the Dodgers, they're always on national TV. All right, Tony, take it away. That's it for the sports topics.
Alrighty. So you ready, Sean, to talk about your updates?
100%.
All right. So before we show the content, just go ahead and again, just break the ice and slowly let's just get right into the meat and potatoes of it. So first off, starting off, just give them a refresher of how you. We're not going to go in detail. We did that on episode 55
Yep.
of how you got started with the pickup board. Just give our audience a quick refresher, so we can catch them up to speed on to where we're at today.
Yeah. So the pickup portal, like I said at the beginning of the show, started as a website where we're helping baseball and softball players. If you got a free weekend and you still want to play and your parents are okay with you playing, you go sign up on our website. Your parents sign you up, and then a team, if they need a player because strep throat or the flu or injury or whatever knocks out a couple of kids off their rosters, then the teams go on our website. They just run a quick search. I need a 14-year-old catcher for this weekend in Hialeah, and they just click search, and the kids who are available for that area show up. Then he just clicks contact parent, and he can reach out and contact the parents directly. And we're just really trying to do away with the endless social media scrolling where you, as a parent, I would just post on there, I've got a kid who's this old, he plays these positions, available, whatever weekends, and then you just click send or post, and social media moves so fast. 2 or 3 hours later, the coach who may need him logs into his Facebook account or whatever, and your post is already gone. So our website fixes all that. Your player's profile and his available dates live on there until you decide to take it down. And coaches have easy access to reach it or find him and contact you as a parent. And that's really what our service is. I view it as like when you're traveling and you're looking for a hotel, where you're going, when you're going to be there, what you want out of the hotel. I want a Hilton or a Holiday Inn, and I want a continental breakfast, I want free Wi-Fi, I want a hot tub, a pool, whatever. And our website works the same way. You know where you're playing, when you're going to be there, what position that you need to fill, and you just click search, and the available options show up, and you can go through and find those kids and reach out to their parents.
All right.
That's it.
Um, so- Straight to the point, y'all. Straight to the point.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what makes it very user friendly when it's straight to the point. Um, People get brain fog when they have to do a lot of research.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Ours is super simple.
yeah, they just want to log in like, okay, but I need this, and this. There it is. Boom. Oh, quick. There you go.
Yep.
Done. Now I can go watch Lord of the Rings.
Yep. Yeah, it takes 3 minutes to register your player or your team, and it takes 30 seconds to find the player that you're looking for. Super
Yeah.
easy.
So let's transition to now. So how it works. That's how basically the skeleton of how it works.
Yep.
So, but the audience, they like, okay, yeah, you got your skeptics. Okay, yeah, that's how it works, but does it really work?
Sure.
You get those
Yep.
out there.
All the time.
So tell them a little bit of how. Um, well, like I said, you gave them the skeleton of how it works, but give them the give them the breakdown of how it really works, and you have some and do you have some live people that can vouch for what you're saying,
Sure.
if that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah. So we started this thing like April will be 2 years ago, and to date we've got just under 4,000 players that are registered, just under 800 teams. Again, this is just baseball and softball. Um, so yeah, there's definitely a lot of players. 4,000 though, in the grand scheme of things, baseball and softball, there's like 23 million baseball and softball players. So 4,000 is not that many, but we just started 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Um, yeah, so we've got some testimonials out there from parents. They'll go and post, or they'll send us a message on Instagram or TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, on all the social stuff, and they'll send us stories of, hey, great, it worked for our kid, we loved it, had a great time, whatever. There you go. There's some right there. Um, it's effective. With some of the updates that we can talk about here in a minute, we're going to do a better job of capturing a lot of the analytics of what's worked, what hasn't worked, how often is it working. Because the original website that we had when we first launched, it was really just a proof of concept thing where we weren't going to invest a lot of money into it until we knew it was going to work. And we have since reached our proof of concept and really invested in this thing that we call the pickup portal, because it's effective. Everybody we talk to, you mentioned at the beginning of the show, this big conference that we were at is the largest coaches convention in the country for baseball anyway. There was over 8,000 baseball coaches there from every level, whether it was middle school through college. We talked to a lot of college coaches, tons of travel ball coaches, and every single person we talked to, and we talked to, believe me, a lot of people. Everybody says fantastic idea, absolutely love it. They're going to sign up when they need it. It's one of those things where you don't know you need it until you need it.
Till you need
So, it's just one of those things where people are like, oh, that's, this for the skeptics out there. I don't think that it works, or we don't need that just now. And that's great. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. Just like coffee's not for everybody. It's for me. I love coffee, but, the pickup portal is not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. But when people need it as a resource, it's there and it's available.
All right. And speaking of your convention, we have a clip here just to highlight the event. So I'm gonna show this it's about 14 seconds long, and then you can give us a little bit more detail about how the convention went.
Yeah.
Here we go. When it plays,
There it is.
there it goes.
Yeah, so we just walked the floor real quick one morning on the way in there. It's a 4-day convention. There's a big trade show. What you're seeing there is the exhibit hall. All the big companies in baseball and softball go to this convention. They set up a booth, and there's 410 or so companies that were there, and we were one of them. Um, all the big names: Easton, Rawlings, Wilson. A lot of travel ball, not a lot, several travel ball organizations. PRD, is a big one. They set up booths there. Every social media influencer that deals with baseball attends this thing. And we were fortunate enough to be able to secure a booth spot there in really, really good position at the front of the trade show, where 8,000 coaches literally walked by us, and we talked to a lot of them. And we're right next to the big names in baseball, all the big equipment manufacturers. It was fantastic. It was the convention itself is 4 days, and there's a lot of coaching that goes on there. A lot of training for the coaches. They bring in MLB coaches and college coaches, and obviously high school coaches. A lot of very successful travel ball coaches go, and they give these seminars. It costs a lot of money just to get in there and walk on the floor. So if you wanted to attend it, it's $150 just to be able to get in the door. And that's not to be a vendor or anything. That's just to walk the show. But the reason so many coaches go to it is for $150, you get 4 days worth of world-class training as a coach. You're not going to be able to hire a single one of these guys that give these seminars to come to your high school or your college and train your coaches on different methodologies for infield or outfield or pitching or whatever that seminar was about. So it's a very, very good value for schools to send their coaches to. From a vendor perspective, a lot of people debut their new things at this show. It's in January every year. It moves from state to state. Last year was in Washington, D.C. This year was in Columbus, Ohio. Next year's in Chicago. 2028, I think, is in Nashville. So it moves locations every year. It's just the largest baseball convention in the country. We were fortunate to be able to set up there this year as a first timer.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yes.
What are your thoughts on that, Carlos?
Sounds amazing. A lot of vendors, a lot of seminars. Yes, it sounds like a well-run convention, and it sounded like an amazing convention.
They've been doing it since 1945.
Wow.
The American Baseball Coaches Association has been around since that long. I don't know specifically how long the convention itself has been going. It probably wasn't annual when they first started up, but the ABCA, as it's known, has been around since 1945. It's a good show. We will very likely do it again next year in Chicago, which I don't know why anybody wants to go to Chicago in January. Or we'll go where our buddy Tripp is at, out in Vegas at the baseball convention, which is the week following ABCA, and that one should be in Vegas every year.
Yeah, that's where he's actually at this weekend.
Yeah, I got several friends who are out there set up.
All right, man, you got to go to Vegas, Sean. Come
Yeah.
on, Sean.
As soon as my day job gets out of the way of my habits and my hobbies, I will. And I'm looking forward to getting some information about, are there basketball conferences like this? Are there football conferences like that? Because we want to be able to go and do these types of things for all the sports that we support.
Well, basketball, football, I know they do have coaches clinics and things like that for football. They do that. Basketball, I think it's more for high school. I think it's more for high school coaches mainly, because they do have to do their annual certification trainings and things of that nature.
And all that, yeah.
AAU and all that. There's not too many.
Yeah.
They're out there, but it's not too many at the scale that this one was that you were
Yeah.
at. Football, but football has a lot of them.
Sure.
With basketball, you're going to see mainly a lot of. You're going to be doing a lot of traveling to like show camps and things of that nature.
Right.
And when you go to those, you're going to talk mainly with parents.
Yep.
More so coaches.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's all good. One of the things that we were able. Go ahead.
highlights?
Sorry, you
Tony
broke up there.
reaching out.
I lost you guys for a second. Oh, lost you guys for a second.
We're here. We're here.
Um, so I'm just going to highlight a few. We got a few stills here from the convention of some of the wonderful people that you met. Um, Here we go again. All right, so let's highlight the first one here. All right, so let's talk about Soldier Tank.
Yeah, so Soldier is a new bat company, and the bat that they've had for I don't know 2 3 years now is just called the Tank. Soldier is the equivalent of like a Louisville Slugger or something like that, and the Tank is the model of bat that they had. But yeah, we were very close to this booth, just on the other side of it actually. The guy in the center of that wall picture back there is become a really good friend of ours. But yeah, they had a van that was really cool, all wrapped, that was parked in the convention hall there, and they did little training seminars, a little stage there, and they did like a little award ceremony. Soldier Tank is just becoming a very, very popular baseball bat in the travel ball world, and they definitely set up a one of a kind booth at this trade show. Everybody there knows who these people are and what they do. So they just tried to kind of outdo everybody else with what their booth looked like. They had the velvet ropes there, and they had a little stage, and they had some chairs up on the stage where they did these podcasts and interviews and things like that. But yeah, Soldier Tank. It was fun to be near them.
Oh, so you're trying to be like us?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do podcasts there.
Hey, soon, Tony, we're gonna be there at those conventions doing a live podcast. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there soon, Tony.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, so arrow swing. If you remember like baseball, you slide the little donut on the end of your bat, and you take your warm-up swings to kind of get loose. We swing like a heavy bat and you take it off and you swing faster. Arrow swing, it's not heavy at all. But those red and blue things on the end of that thing on the table there, they call them pineapples. I had 2 of them in my house that I gave away last year for a big giveaway thing that we did for our website, but it creates resistance while you're swinging. They make them for baseball and softball. They originally started with golf. So you could take one of these pineapples and slide it down your driver shaft, and it really helps with your club head speed. It's a training tool. It's a training aid. Really nice guys. Bill's the owner. It's fantastic.
All right, real quick, Sean. We always got to give a special shout out when he tunes in. To Beats Bottom One Production, Mr. Travell Richardson. Check out episode 25. You will
Okay.
he was on here, and he gave us insights at the time of his business with his with his production company, with his music and everything. And you hear his voice every single time we go live, because he is the producer of our intro music.
That's
That was-
fantastic. That's awesome because I absolutely love the intro. That is so cool.
That's all Beats by the One production. So he put that together for us, 100% custom made. And anyone wants a custom intro music like that, all you gotta do, just hit them up. At Beats by the One Productions, or you can email them at beatsbytheoneproductions@gmail.com. And for your business or whatever you need advertisement done, he'll put the music together for your advertisement, all that good stuff. So check him out.
Shout out Travell.
Shout out Travell. That's all you, bro. All right, so let's get back to. All right, so that's Arrow Swing. We don't have to go into detail about every single one of these businesses, but we just want to highlight all the the topic is not the convention itself. It's about Pick a Portal. But we're just going to highlight some of these booths that you've seen there.
Yeah, and that's my
So
beautiful wife standing in that one. Yeah, a lot of these booths again are just the biggest names in baseball. If you're around baseball people all the time, you get to know these people. They're just good people to work with, and they all have great products.
yeah, making us want to go to a convention.
They're pretty cool. That one was my wife's favorite booth, Baseball Eve. It's just really cool
I like the
design,
name.
balloons everywhere.
Yeah, I like the name. Base
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. Again, really
Carlos,
good people.
you don't look impressed.
Huh? Hey,
You don't look
pretty impressive name, man. It's impressive. Baseball league.
you don't look impressed. You're just like, yeah.
It's an impressive name. It's impressive. It's
Does he look
impressive.
impressed, Sean?
He does not. He just looks like meh.
He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. It's all right.
Hey,
Shout out to Base Believe.
baseball league. Yep.
Yeah, and these were our friends over at 3 and 2. They made this polo I'm wearing now. Just again, Jersey people. They're from Orlando, and you need sublimated jerseys, screen printed jerseys, whatever. They are a very, very good company to work with. We've got to know them very well over last year. Just really good people.
I should have talked to you then, Sean, before I put the order in for mine.
Hey, I can get you the hookup too. I know those guys really well. Again, they're from Orlando. Very good turnaround time, very good quality. We've used them for our travel ball team on many occasions.
Yeah, I should have asked around before I put the order in for mine. But you live and learn.
Yep.
All right. And okay.
That one is probably the best booth that I saw. War Stick, another baseball brand. If you play baseball, you're familiar with the War Stick. Bone Saber is their most popular bat, but they just had like a hangout space. I mean, they had cornhole. They just had all kinds of fun stuff for people to just come in, check out their baseball bats, and just chill. Just a really, really good booth.
And we got some baseball guys in the audience on the in our Instagram. Shout out to Jose Baseball 13. Um, who's tuning in right now is one of them. So we're trying to get our work, build our baseball fan base over here on the Be Ready Sports Podcast. We do a lot of basketball. We're trying to build that baseball fan base, because there's a lot of great baseball athletes out there.
Yeah.
And let's see, last but not least,
Yeah, that's a travel ball organization, PRD. Ghost is one of their teams, but they're a national program. They've got teams all over the country, and there are kids from their program every year who get drafted to the MLB every single year. They're just one of those big national programs that just knows how to train kids and recruit kids. Just really cool guys.
and Travell said he loves baseball. Um, all right, Travell, I wish you would have been here when we was talking about the free agent signings before this. Um, I think you'd have been a great person to jump in on that conversation. All right, so before we get into your testimonials here, let's catch everyone up to speed onto where you're at now, where you're working towards. I know we talked about it a little bit before the show. This is the main reason why we brought you back on, so we can give the updates on where your platform is going. So currently, as we speak, um, you only did baseball and softball.
Correct.
All right. And so now you're trying. I know when you were on here on episode 55, you were telling us you were interested in expanding, but didn't want to elaborate in detail at the time,
Yeah.
because it was just a thought until a work in progress. But now it's not a thought anymore.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Wow, our show is about to be very popular, because we have some crazy turns have tabled.
So
That's a good
yeah,
one. I like that one.
in August, yeah, we were still kind of in that proof of concept phase, but we were pretty sure we were going to pull the trigger on the next phase. So what we're calling Pickup Portal 2.0 is been launched. And that was rebuilding the website from the ground up. It's brand new. It looks similar, at least the homepage does, to what everybody was used to before. But once you actually get past the homepage and you log in, it's completely different. In addition to that, as of Friday, whatever Friday was last week, whatever that date was, the 9th, yeah, our app is live on iTunes. So people can go there to iTunes or Apple Store, whatever you call it, and download it. Android's a little more difficult this go around, so we're waiting on their approval, and it'll be live on the Android App Store as well. They got to register on the website first, and then they can download the app and then get access through the app as well. Yeah, so we are pushing out updates every single week. Our web developer that we hired to do all this stuff, all that magic in the background that I know nothing about, we're doing weekly releases, and part of that is scaling to other sports. We're going to start with basketball next, and then football, and then soccer, and then volleyball and lacrosse. We have a plan to get all these sports, basically every youth sport where there's a travel league associated with it, and pickup or guest players are common due to injury, illness, vacations, things like that. We're going to have that available for all those sports. And even like adult slow pitch softball is going to be out there. We had so many people at the convention last week beg us to add adult slow pitch softball and even pickleball. So
you're going to definitely, you're going to definitely have Travell on there because he definitely plays adult softball. Mr. Beats Bottom One Productions over here.
I didn't realize how big the pickup game was for slow pitch softball, and we actually set up at a tournament here local about 2 months ago, just a weekend tournament just to go out and have fun, and set up a booth and had a batting cage and a radar gun and stuff for the guys. But it was actually quite concerning at how many teams needed players. So we're going to include those guys too. But all that stuff is going to be released out over the next several weeks as we scale. And yeah, we're going to basically start these other sports from the ground up, from zero, effective this year. We've already got the baseball stuff going, 4,000 players, 800 teams. It's growing. It's kind of organic now. It's living on its own, so to speak. But we're going to have to fire up the basketball community and the football community, and really start to spread the word on those sports. There's a few players who are multi-sport athletes who are on our platform, and their parents are asking us when we're going to add these things. So that's going to help. But we're definitely going to need the basketball and football guys to show up and get involved.
Best way to start is with the coaches.
Yep.
That's the best way to start. Get coaches interested, and who are the first people they're going to tell? Other coaches.
Yep.
And parents. So
yeah, we just didn't know, our big hesitancy to do the other sports, because we live in the baseball world because our sons, but with the other sports, how are pickup or guest players perceived? Like, I know that they happen, but is it a taboo thing or is it pretty common? What we've found is it's kind of one of those don't ask, don't tell situations for a lot of people. Like, the parents are like, yeah, my kid will pick up, but we don't really want to tell his coach about it, those kinds of things. But we did find out that it happens all the time. It's a regular occurrence.
Yeah, it's more common than you think. It's just not broadcast.
Right.
But if you go through these players' social medias, they're on 15 different teams.
Right.
I think that's crazy.
You wear 4 different jerseys in one season, and you're playing for somebody every weekend.
Yeah. I think that's crazy. If you're going to do that in multiple sports, not in just one.
Sure.
That's how overuse injuries happen when you get in their 30s. That's why you see a lot of these players are breaking down in the NBA now in their 30s.
Well, that was some of the complaints that we had about the baseball and softball side from parents and even coaches was, kids need a break. Well, yes, they do. Kids do need breaks, and they also need a healthy diet. They need to sleep and stay off the PlayStation. They need rest. They need all these things. Parents just need to parent, I can't parent anybody else's kids but my own. And if what we offer isn't a good fit for their kid because their kid needs 12 hours of sleep and he needs every other weekend off or whatever the schedule is, that's great. I mean, the parent just needs to decide that their kid shouldn't participate in what we're offering. And that's okay, but it's not up to me to parent other people's kids.
Exactly. And parents, y'all need to communicate these to your coaches in ample time.
100%. Yeah,
Vacations,
if you're going to
because
play
vacations
for
are planned and all that. All that stuff is planned.
right.
Don't send your coach. Don't send the coach a text message 2 days before you're about to go out of town. It's like, oh yeah, coach. Yeah, we're going to be out of town for the next 3 weeks.
Right. Yeah, and for us, it really comes down to if you're going to pick up with another team. If you're playing every other weekend with your home team, right, somebody that you're paying money to play, you owe it to that coach to let them know that you're going to pick up next weekend. Especially like in baseball, if you're a pitcher and you're in your school, like high school season,
Definitely.
your high school coach needs to know if you played travel ball the weekend before and if you pitched. How many pitches you threw, all those things. And I'm sure it's the same is true for basketball. Your basketball coach needs to know, are you rested or did you just go play 4 games Saturday and Sunday and now you're gassed for the Monday night game?
That is true. They do need to know that, especially like you said. Yeah, you have a game on Monday or Tuesday. They need to know that you went to Atlanta this weekend for a 4-day tournament where you played 6-7 games starting
Right.
early Friday championship late Sunday night, and you're hanging out Monday morning and you're flying back in.
Yep.
And you got a game Monday night. You know that, especially if you're his go-to guy.
Yeah, and that's where, like I said, parents just need to parent. They need to communicate and don't be afraid to have those conversations with the coaches. At the end of the day, you got to look out for your own kid. Nobody's going to be a bigger advocate for the health of your kid than the parent.
There's a comment out there circling the internet now that's going viral that says coaches do not produce D1 players, parents do.
That's a fact.
All right, but this episode is not jumping on parents, but y'all need to get it together.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I gotta tell my parents. If you don't know, ask. It's the only way you're going to obtain information. But make your answer make sense to you.
Well,
don't
at the
just
end of the day, no game is worth an injury. Like if you can,
Nope.
There's no plastic ring in baseball, right? Everybody talks about these little cheap rings that you get for these low-level tournaments for your 10-year-old. There's no ring or trophy or plaque that is worth a torn ACL, or torn rotator cuff, Tommy John surgery, these various injuries that happen in these different sports. At a youth level, you're not getting paid. In fact, you're paying to go play. So, the parents just got to be smart. They got to look out for the health of their kid. And that was hard for me. Like our own son had some throwing injuries, some growth plate separation in his elbow, and that was from overuse. And when that happened, and he was like 12, we were like, okay, now we need to change a few things because we're not going to have him laid up in his 30s with a nagging injury. So, anyway. Yeah, it's all good. Just parents need to educate themselves.
Well, in spite of my injury to my point guard, I sat down 2 of my players this week because they had heel discomfort, and I told the parents, sit them down this whole week. No training, no exercising, no running, none of that. I said you can't you can't treat a heel. Only thing you can do is immobilize it and rest it. You can't do anything to it. Yep. So thank God they listened.
One other thing that we're doing this year that we didn't do last year, that's going to be huge for the baseball stuff anyway, is collegiate summer league. So if you may or may not be familiar with it, but in baseball, the college guys, after their college season is done, they can go and continue to play in a summer league. And there's like 80, 85 summer leagues around the country. The big ones are like the Cape Cod League and the Northwoods League and the Appy League. And they're all over the country. But when the school season shuts down, these guys can continue to play through the summer until their school starts back up in the fall. September timeframe or whatever, their classes start again. Um, so we're partnering with several leagues because they need players at the beginning of their season and then again at the end of their season. So us being able to help college guys who are done with their regular season and their team may be out of the playoffs early or whatever, we can help them find a home for the summer and continue to play ball. And a lot of college guys don't even know about collegiate summer leagues. But there's like 80 or 85 teams or leagues, I'm sorry, and each league has between 4 and 10 teams per league. So there's hundreds of teams out there, and every team needs pitchers and catchers and first basemen and all the positions. So teams are playing shorthanded all the time, borrowing, from local guys. So we can definitely help with that stuff too on the collegiate side.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So not just the youth, Carlos, also the young adults playing college.
Yep. So the
It's
big
pretty.
one that we talked to at the convention is called the Appy League or the Appalachian League, and they are 100% funded by the MLB. The MLB pays for everything. They paid for the players to fly in, pay for their room and board, the uniforms. The MLB themselves pay for everything. And so we talked to the commissioner of the Appy League and a few of the other ones, and they're 100% on board. We just got to build the database of players. And so that's what we're pushing for this spring, so that we can help them out this summer.
So it's almost like the minor leagues.
These guys feed into pro ball. So, not all of them, but there's a pretty good chance that if you go play collegiate summer league, you have your eye on getting paid to play baseball after college. So it's not pro ball yet, but it's a very good step towards it. You get in front of a lot of other schools, a lot of other coaches, and honestly, a lot of some even minor league teams and probably major league teams as well.
Oh, so that's huge right there.
Yeah.
So that's real huge. See, you piqued Carlos's interest. You see how close he got to the screen.
He was listening in.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
He was like, "Oh, what? I can play some summer league games and what colleges?"
Hey, all you need is to be a high school senior, a graduated senior, or be rostered on a current college roster. And there's a travel league or a summer league out there that'll take you. So you need NCAA eligibility, and some of them do require you to be on an active roster, but some of them don't care. Like if you're a warm body and you can swing a bat and field a ball, they will take you.
Right.
You piqued his interest. Like they better have that basketball. That's what he was looking like.
Yeah.
He was waiting. He was waiting for you. He was waiting to hear basketball. I know when
Yeah,
Carlos is.
I know.
I know when Carlos is interested. Before his face get big, get closer to that screen.
Yeah, so and I don't know. Again, we live in the baseball world because of my kids. They never really had any interest in playing other sports. But if there's such a thing as collegiate summer league for basketball, or a spring league for football, by all means, we want to help them all out
No,
because they're all going to run into the same problem.
They have until August. High school seniors. I think they have until August
For basketball?
for basketball. Yeah. For seniors.
Think so.
Before you guys go off to college, you can play. They can still play on the circuit play and all that until
Right.
and attend the camps until I believe August, and then they're not high school seniors anymore.
Right.
So yeah, they have it for basketball. I'm pretty sure they have it for football too.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to look into that. Because again, I think we're proving the model out right now for the college guys, and once we prove that out for baseball, then we're going to. Again, it's an easy putt at that point to bring in the other sports.
Yeah. And when do you have an estimate of when let's say basketball, for example, is going to roll out?
End of this month, end of January.
Oh, that's quick turnaround. You really got Carlos's interest now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's for the youth pickup portal stuff, not for the college stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little bit now. Well, Carlos says you have until the end of May.
Gotcha.
It's a time limit.
He's giving you a time. Well, he's a high school senior, so that's why that information was valuable to Carlos
Yeah,
because he's about to enter that transition
right.
from high school senior to
Mhm.
collegiate player. So all resources, all avenues, you have his attention.
Yeah. He's on the court a few more times.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this up, let's get into some of your testimonials of some of your satisfied client. Yeah, you didn't think I was gonna post them, huh?
Hey, I'm not ashamed of him,
Yeah,
so why not?
you shouldn't be. These are these are these are good. So here's some of your testimonials. They said I think the site is great. I think the site and service are great. BTW. His former coach told us about it because he used it, and so keep going. It's a great service. Um, okay, come on now.
You on that Verizon hotspot, ain't you?
For rice.
See why everybody capping on my internet, bro? Carlos, why is everybody capping on my internet, bro?
I don't know.
Okay, so this is from Jared. I can't pronounce his last name, but I guess that's his kid's name. Liam's dream became a reality. Got the opportunity to play with the kid
Lacing the
Empire.
clubhouse.
Yeah, yeah. He's very popular on Instagram, Carlos.
All right.
And the Hammond Yankees this weekend, being he was available on the pickup portal. So that's pretty huge for that kid.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Heather says we had a great experience with the pickup portal too. Um, oh, she posted a picture of her kid.
Hmm.
Thanks to this website, my son was picked up this past weekend. He had a great time playing. He met new coaches and players and instantly made new friends. Thank you. Uh oh. Don't tell don't let his current coach know. He might think he might have lost a player. But you have nothing to do with that, right? Nothing.
Nope.
Oh, if they go out there and they make friends and fall in love with their new team, that is not on you.
Yeah, we're not promoting team hopping, that's for sure. We're just trying to help people fill in their off weekends.
Well, if you look at basketball and that,
Rep.
all right. So this is from Linda Ariola. I hope I pronounced her name right. She says if there's any parents want their kids to play, I got mine going to one this weekend, and this is a post from you for the pickup port on East Texas baseball,
Yep.
and it shows on this post 132 opportunities on the pickup guest play, and the red dots are the players. Was this the players or the teams?
Both. The picture on the left there showing the pickup opportunities 9U to 16U. Those red dots are teams who needed players. And then the other side there at that particular weekend there was 228 baseball players who were available across the country. The red dots are the baseball players, yeah.
That's pretty cool. And we
Yeah,
got a lot
we got 49 states represented now. Hawaii is the only holdout.
more. Marley, we will have to talk. No, I'm just kidding. Marley's one of our guys that lives in Hawaii. All right, here's another testimonial. We have a whole bunch of these. Not gonna go through all of them, but we have a lot of testimonials here. Uh, so you guys can read that on the replay, and then here's another test. Thanks again for sharing this portal. It's such a great concept. So a lot of coaches and parents have used it, and they're loving this portal. This right here is a team. Ball glove Blue Jays baseball. These teams have some great names, don't they? So the pickup portal has been a great resource. He's been able to pick up a player that's stated to this point 10 of the 17 kids that he has contact with available on their profile are not available. Oh, I guess he was. If the parents could remember to update their profiles in real time, appreciate that. The pickup portal has been extremely responsive and provides solutions this morning with my search. Oh, so that sounds like a more of a concern.
Yeah, so some of the parents marked their kid with like open availability, and so he's going on search and found kids that match what he needed. So he's reaching out to their parents, and they're like, "Oh, well, he's actually not available this weekend." So the parents needed to do a little better job setting up their player's profile.
That's like you said earlier. That's 100% on the parents. You got to get it together. Melissa said they should look into it in the future. Um, there's more. I think we saw that one. How to upload this twice. Guess I got too happy and uploaded these twice. All right, so those are your testimonials right there, Sean. You're doing an awesome job um, with with the pickup portal. Looks like baseball. You hit it out of the park with baseball. So you might need to get another head in there to help you with basketball, because that's going to be a whole nother animal.
Yeah,
Football is going to be a really a whole nother animal because you're dealing with teams that have 30. Well, youth football, 32-man team is a very large team,
right.
um, yeah, you're gonna have that mainly the same issues you have with pitchers, you have with quarterbacks. You know, maybe you're a quarterback. You don't want to play this weekend. I think you might want to let your coach know that his quarterback is going somewhere to play.
Right.
He might not care about his wide receivers, but his quarterback, yeah,
Well,
he might be.
fortunately, my this is my wife's full time job. She works on the pickup portal 5 days a week, and then I pick up some slack on the weekends as needed. But yeah, so we definitely, hopefully, get to the point this year where we have to hire some people to help us run this thing. That's the goal, right? Lord willing, we're able to do that.
And shout out to my
Oh,
He's on that Verizon again.
it's Verizon.
thanks.
Verizon connection. Tony, we didn't hear you just now.
Why y'all capping on my internet, bro? I don't like.
You're the only one who doesn't know, apparently.
It's true.
I was saying give a shout out to my man Jordan Stevens who tuned in. We always show him love that when he comes on here. Um, very 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 good athlete. Very good athlete. Mr. Jordan Stevens, great kid. Puts God first. Um, only got great things to say about him. All right. So before we let you go, Sean, there's one set of business that we need to take care of before you go.
Yeah,
Um, the 100th episode is coming up. Um,
it's big.
we didn't do this we didn't do this on episode 55, so we got to do it on episode 96.
Okay, what you got?
You got to help us pick our top five for episode 100 on our. We're going to start with our overlays or with the pictures that were sent in. So what you're going to do is we're going to show you the picture. You're going to rate it 1 out of 5. 5 meaning that Carlos, Tony, you better put this picture on there, man. That picture is phenomenal. 1 means you need to set that picture on fire and never show it on the internet again.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's go.
But the first we're going to show you is we're also going to do producing another podcast for our youth. This is going to be the Lambo and Cash show. We gotta let you know about this, Sean. This is what we're promoting. It's going to be out soon. We're supposed to have a meeting today, but everybody got too busy. But we're going to roll out this episode. The guests are going to be Lambo, Mr. Camden Villavaso, who was on here. Lambo was episode 78. Camden was episode what 91, I believe, or 92. And Cash was on here on. It was really very recent. I think he was episode either 92 or 93.
Camden was 92, and then Cash was 88.
88. Well, I was way off on Cash's episode.
Okay.
But those are going to be the produce. Those going to be the host of the show. So basically, it's not going to be a live stream, unfortunately. We can't live stream 12-year-olds. Instagram has a big. Yeah, Instagram has a big no for. I mean, Instagram and with Instagram you have to have an adult present. They'll allow you to do it, but YouTube is a huge no. They can't be live streaming by themselves. So they can. So we're going to produce their show, but it's not going to be a live stream episode.
Okay.
So all it's going to be is kids talking sports, doing sports talk like we were doing about baseball.
Yep.
And just have a fun little friendly environment because we realize since we do this show, these little crumb snatchers love to talk sports. But the first one that we're going to vote here, this is going to be from our guy Montana McBride. He was on right before Lambo. He was episode 77. His episode. So this is his school picture here.
It's a dope picture.
I like it. That's why I wanted to feature it on here. But it's not up to me. It's up to you. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I would give that one a solid 4 out of 5.
Solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And why do you give it a 4?
Well, I don't know what perfection looks like yet. So for me, like if you want to get the top score, well, I mean, I'm just gonna have to be just blown away.
He said, "I don't know what perfection is yet." All right. Well, speaking of our guy Lambo, who we compared to Trip, who this is Carlos's Trip, pretty much, basically. Disclaimer: that's actual real fire on it. That's not AI fire. He confirmed it when he was on.
Oh, well, I'll give him a 4 out of 5 too. That's a good picture.
Yep, and he got his Instagram. He's promoting his Instagram and everything. Smart kid,
Yeah.
has a great business mindset already. And then he has another one, Mr. Lambo.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the other one better. I'll give that one. I got to go with like a 2 out of 5.
Ooh, Lambo's gonna crucify. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. His other one where he's holding the fire, man, that's just a tough picture. That one.
So you love this one, but
yes,
you don't think this one should be featured. Okay. This next one is my man Camden Harzinski. I'll give you the backstory behind it after you vote. Because if I give you the backstory before, it's going to sway your vote, and you're going to vote higher based on the backstory than the actual picture. So.
I got, that's a 3 out of 4 for me. Middle of the road.
All right, not bad. Well, the backstory behind this one, he's in the 5th grade, and he goes to a prep school, and they allowed them 5th graders to play on the middle school basketball team with middle school age kids, and He made the team and ended up being their starting point guard as a fifth grader, playing against
Wow,
seventh and eighth graders.
that's fantastic.
So yeah, he put this together to celebrate that. This is
Yeah,
all him. This is all his ideas and all his design on this overlay.
sweet.
So, like I said, if I'd have gave you the backstory behind it, you would have gave it a higher rating just on the backstory
Yeah.
and not the picture. Sorry. This next one is Carlos's boy. He interviewed Tate Medina. So I always let Carlos bring this in because this is his favorite guest.
Favorite guest. Okay. Tate Medina. He plays football in Texas. He played
Well, I think I
receiver.
think I think Sean Gus has that idea that he plays
Yeah.
football based on
Oh,
the
yeah,
picture.
I
okay.
didn't think it was
Okay, but let me see
volleyball.
the backstory, Tony. Let me see the context. Yeah, so obviously he plays football over there in Texas, played linebacker, plays receiver. Um, very good kid, very good kid, very good football player, and he has aspiration of playing college football. But yeah, here's his media day photo, playing for his team over there in Texas. So Sean, what do you rate it out of 5?
Again, another tough photo, man. That's a 4, like the jersey.
All right.
How old is he?
He's he's in middle school, so
Okay.
I don't know what age, but he's
12.
middle school.
Yeah, 12, 13. Yeah. Okay.
Um, Did you take down the one for Christian Carlos? As I do
I
not
don't,
see it.
I don't know. Thing's not there. I don't think the thing was there from the last episode either. So
No, I put it up there because we had it. We were voting on it. Because our producer told me put this one up, and I put it up here.
I don't know. It's not
I
there.
don't see it.
I never took it down, so I don't know what happened.
I never took it down either.
Ghost.
So someone's capping.
A ghost. Okay, but moving on then.
All right, so let's get into the last one. This is from Remy Payne. Our only, our first. He's not our only actor we had on here, but this is our first one. 9 year old. He's 9 years old, and this is his photo here.
Uh, yeah, I got to go 3 out of 5. Um, yeah, 3 out of 5 for me on this one.
All right, and the backstory. There's two missing. The backstory behind this one is they didn't submit any pictures, so I had to create the overlays themselves. So this was off of a video that he did on his Instagram,
Okay.
where when this one he was taking his helmet off, but I wanted to capture it right before he took it off because I thought it would make it tough. That's why you see his hands on underneath his face mask right there.
Yeah.
Took me 45 minutes to get this shot. 45 minutes. And speak of Camden Villavaso, who's going to be on the Lambo and Cash show, that's him right there. We're actually, this is not one that we're voting on, but it's going to, on our 100th episode, we're going to integrate it in our intro
Okay.
video. That's Camden right there, at an award ceremony. And I can't remember the names of these wonderful coaches behind him. He's going to kill me for not remembering their names. But I just think this is pretty cool. That's why I left it up there. But
Yeah.
I am upset because I cannot find. I did not delete it. Oops. I did not delete it. But we were voting on Mr. Christian's photo. And I do not see it. Oh, the arrow swing. Well, let's get to the video portion. Lastly, we also vote on the videos. I gotta re. I just gotta re. I'm gonna have to re-upload those two because we're missing two of them. So same thing. With the videos, we'll play the video and then you tell us 1 out of 5.
Okay.
Thank you for being a great sport, Sean. I know you wasn't prepared or expecting this.
All good.
All right, Sean. Here we go. This one's. We're just gonna play the first clip. This is. I'll just.
I got muted somehow.
Yeah, well, we was only playing the first part of that video,
Yeah,
not the whole thing. That's why it didn't automatically unmute.
gotcha.
Oh, we
That
lost
is,
Carlos.
we did lose Carlos. That's a fantastic job. That's a 5 out of 5 for me.
Whoa.
To
Uh-oh.
get fouled and still make the basket, that's impressive.
Yeah, he is. He got disconnected. Okay.
Carlos is on that Verizon plan too.
I don't know how he got disconnected when we played that video, but yeah, Jalen, he is class of 2033, I believe. I think he's a 5th grader.
Okay.
Jalen. All right, this next one, he's class of 2032, Florida guy. I actually interviewed him. This is Chad Johnson Jr. No, he's not Ocho Cinco's son, but we call him CJ. So you can check this one out.
That's a 4 out of 5 for me.
That's still not bad. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that's impressive.
All right. And speaking of Christian, this next one, this actually Carlos's brother, Christian, that's playing. He's a junior. He's playing his junior year right now. Playing lights out. But this is last season in his sophomore season at playing varsity.
Okay.
So. And
That's
shout out to
unreal.
yeah.
Uh,
These are the kids you about to put. These are the type of
yeah.
players you about to put on your portal.
I mean, the fact that he didn't have to post up and set his feet, and that's a 5 out of 5.
They give it, and that's without the backstory. So the
Yeah, I mean, he
backstory,
stopped on the run.
well, that's just a short clip. The full clip is it was an inbounded off a made free throw. He went coast to coast, and he went coast to coast all the way and shot that off of 1 foot from the 3-point line, and it was a game winner.
Wow.
To help them their seed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that was pretty tough. All right, next one. This is from our guy Kason Velez from episode 4, who was on the show earlier. He sent us a clip. You have to pay attention because it's really quick. It's a hit. He hit a header.
Okay.
A header. All right, here we go.
Yes, Casey!
That's a 4 out of 5 for me. That's super dangerous, by the way. Hitting a header in soccer, that's dangerous.
Don't tell him that because he hits a lot of those.
No, I know. I mean, it's popular. Everybody does it. But anyway, you wind up getting head butted a few times. Good way to get a concussion, but it's part of it.
Yeah, we don't like that, but at his age, that's rare and very difficult to do.
Sure.
And speaking of Jordan Stevens, speaking of Camden, he's blowing up our Instagram page right now. He's over here voting on the Instagram. He's saying 2.5, 5 out of 5.
That's good.
Shout out, shout out to Carlos' brother. Um, I'll I'll s- I'll send you his Instagram, Camden, when we get off. This is from Jordan Stevens, the one that I gave the shout out to earlier. But this is why.
Oh, good D, baby. Oh, oh, let's go.
Mom's happy, huh?
Yeah, moms are passionate. We love it though.
Yeah. No, the 360 like that, that's a 5 out of 5.
Jordan, you got another 5. All right, this last one. Um, this is the one that's in the lead right now. This is for our guy Key, Mr. Keelan Hollowell, who's on here from episode 10. When you see it, you're gonna see why it's in the lead. And I think this if we ever do a video Hall of Fame, this one, this clip is that.
See,
And
now
no, I'm
you're
not
tipping the
glazing the clip.
scales. You're tipping the scales here on me. You're setting an awfully high bar.
No, I'm just letting you know this one's been on here the longest. But yeah.
I'm impressed. Yeah, that's a 5 out of 5.
You see why it's been on.
I feel like he was probably that way the whole game too.
Well, they were putting foots in. They were up by a lot,
Yeah,
and he just said they were up so big. He just did that on the fast break, but he did it
right,
like it was nothing. Like he does it every day.
right.
You have to check him out though, Sean. That's Mr. Keelan Hollowell.
Okay.
Um, his Instagram is key under. I got. Jeez, what is his Instagram? Um, it's key_23, something like that. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Check him out, man. That kid is. I'm not glazing him, but that kid is one of one. That kid is going somewhere. Like he makes the difficult look average.
yeah,
He makes difficult shots look average, and that's rare. When you see a player that makes the difficult plays look like he just putting on clothes, you know that that's a special player, and
sure.
you want to keep your eye on players like that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
those are the videos. That was the videos and overlays that we have so far. That we're going to put on our what's 100th episode that's coming up in 3 episodes. So, what are your thoughts overall on those clips?
Yeah, if you get a lot more of those clips, it's gonna make voting a lot harder. You're gonna have a lot of highlight reels to choose from. That's for sure. Those are good.
Well, we got a ton of great clips, but we needed the ones that give the reaction like you just gave when you saw Jordan Stevens 360.
Right.
We're looking for that type of reaction. When
Yeah.
those are the ones that we like, okay, that belongs in this own category
Sure.
because all these kids are amazing. All right, so before we sign off, Sean, shout out to my man Baltimore Bruce. He's a Alabama and Baltimore Ravens fan, so um, we need to hold his head up for him because they had They had a very tough ends to their seasons.
Yeah, it sucks for the Ravens. I don't feel bad about at all about Alabama though. Just
There's
being
no
honest. Go
well,
Dogs.
well, at least you're not going to hear Roll Tide for a whole summer.
Yeah.
Um, but all right, if you we always reach the point on the show now. If you want to give your final, if you got any shout outs you want to give while we're on, you can give your final shout outs or um final things that you want to put out there. This like announcements or things of nature. That's some special things that's coming up. Um, uh, this is part of the show where we give those where we promote those.
Cool. Yeah, so thanks again for having us on.
Of course.
It's unique, I think, for us to be invited back a second time to come do something like this. Um, we look forward to, as we grow, to be able to come back again and again and again with you guys and really help promote the Be Ready Sports podcast as well as pickup portal stuff too. But it's as big as the world is. It's a small community of people who do these types of things, and we certainly appreciate the opportunity to get onto your podcast and talk with you and Carlos. We'd really appreciate it if your listeners like, share, and subscribe to this. It helps us as well as you guys to promote both of our businesses and what we're trying to accomplish. And as always, check us out. We're on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of them. So engage with us. We absolutely love talking with people. If you got questions, reach out, shoot us a DM, shoot us an email, whatever. We love answering questions about what we do and how we can do it better. So that's really about all I got. Just let's keep the conversation going.
Yep. And if you want to be on our show, well, we tell you on our Instagram how to do it. You can reach out, or you can wow us, and we end up reaching out to you. So, and do you have anybody you want to shout out before we end the
Yeah.
business?
So Trip Dog Taylor, Trip Dog 22. That kid is just, his dad's really cool. His dad's name is Richie. Really nice guy. I've gotten to know him a little bit over the last year. They are out in Vegas right now, praying for safe travels for them. And I have no doubt they're going to have a good time. Somebody bring that kid some snacks out in Vegas at the baseball convention out there, because he did a whole video complaining to his dad in the airport about not having snacks. So
I believe it.
shout out to
And
Trip Dog 22.
and you want to watch his episode? It was right before Sean's episode. Trips was episode 54. Right before Sean's on episode 55. And no, that was not purposely done. When we interviewed Sean, we did not know that he knew Trip like that. We were just talking
Again,
about him because
big world, small community.
yeah, we were just talking about him because we were like we were like, oh my gosh, he sent like 50 photos in that, and his picture section was like an hour, and he was getting irritated. He was like. Like it's comedy. You gotta see it.
Yeah.
But Carlos logged right back in time to do the spiel.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
We're in time for the end, dude.
He gave Christians a 5 out of 5.
All right.
Camden came in the Instagram chat and said I was glazing Keelan Hollowell. But that's his Texas boy. I gotta talk to him because man, he gotta be stopped being so blunt, brutally honest about how he feel.
My gosh. Tony, you there? Oh, Tony glitched out. My gosh, it's plaguing us here on the podcast live.
Yeah. Glitching.
Well, I guess I'm gonna just do the spiel, Sean, since
Cool.
Tony is glitching out. All right, guys, like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're live here on YouTube, so make sure to like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on our Instagram down there at Be Ready Sports Podcast. That's where we post sports news, podcast clips, things like that. We've been active there. Transfer portal wise, college football. The portal just ended, so we're just gonna do the back end of the transfer portal, try and get all that in as soon as possible and things like that. And we also put baseball on there as well when they start going. So yeah, so make sure to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on our Instagram. All right, Coach Tony,
We're just taking Sean. We're just taking turns of just getting kicked out of your episode, brother.
Yeah, so like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Here's Theron West II. This is his clothing line, Silent Fear down online. You guys can follow that. That is Theron West II. He was a previous guest on this show. I believe he was from California, football player. Silent Fear down online. That is his clothing line. You can donate to Zelle, not Cash App, 954-664-8962. That is where you can donate to the show. All proceeds of the show goes towards the show to make it better. So donate to Zelle, 954-664-8962. And coming up next, Sean, is your company. So do you want to give a little promotion about your company here?
Bro, that's what he's been doing all. That's what he's been doing all.
Right.
Never mind. Let me stop.
So here's your thing, pickupportal.com. So there's your thing, Sean. So so we've been promoting ever since past episode 55. We've been promoting it ever since, and it's still gonna go on. Still gonna go on. It's still gonna be on the spiel, and so things like that. So obviously, guys, go check out the website pickupportal.com.
You're supposed to tell him the spiel as you're supposed to give the spiel as you normally would give it, and get Sean's approval.
What do you want me to give the spiel that I usually
give him the spiel as we normally would, and since Sean is here, he'll give you his approval or not.
Okay. So basically, if you're a coach that needs a player for the weekend, you're down with some players, sick, traveling, just go in the pickup portal, pick up the players that you need to fill that roster spots for those players that are gone. And if you're a player that wants to play for that weekend, you can put yourself in the portal and a coach can find you and connect you, and boom, 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 just like that.
You're hired, Carlos. You're hired.
Yes.
That is exactly how we've been doing the spiel.
Yes.
Every
Since episode 55. Yep, like 41 episodes. For 41 episodes, we've been doing
You got it
this.
down.
Yes. All right. Pickup Portal, guys. You guys can check that out. Pickupportal.com. All right. Subscribe to Kaysen Velez. That's the kid that hit the header into the goal. Subscribe to Kaysen. That is his YouTube channel at CV7 Rocket. That is his YouTube channel. Remy Payne. That is the first athlete actor. You guys can follow him at Remy Game Football 5250. And last but not least, it's William Miller. Coach Tony interviewed William Miller, motivational speaker, combat athlete, very good kid to talk to. So you guys can check that out on I think episode 90, right, Coach Tony? Episode 90.
And he does a lot of conventions like you've been to, Sean, where he does a lot of guest speaking. He does a lot of interviewing. And he's very popular because people were surprised that we were able to get him on the show.
I'll look him up.
It's his Instagram is it's William Miller, I believe.
Yep.
No, that's his website. It's everyone's link to their Instagrams in their bios. So go to episode 90, you find his bio, just click it, boom, and you're right there.
All right. Coach Tony, let's go. All right.
Yeah, we didn't talk Sean's head off.
Oh, I know.
He looked like he could sit here for another 3 hours though.
Man, this has been a great time.
Yeah.
That as he said that is the politest way of saying if you don't end this show, Coach T, you're gonna be on this. You're gonna be live streaming by yourself. That was the nicest way he said that.
All right, let's go.
We're kidding, man. We ain't gonna have you on here for another 3 hours.
Oh no.
The live stream will be live streaming itself.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna tune into an empty screen.
Yeah.
All right, Carlos, go ahead and count us out.
Right in 3, 2, 1.
All right, Sean, to be ready.
Got to stay ready.
Yep, and we out.
We out, guys.